I really believe we can make America greater than ever before. I really believe, or I wouldn't be doing it. And I stood up and I made a speech. And as you know, I brought up illegal immigration. I brought up trade. I brought up some other things. But the primary thing was trade, illegal immigration. We got to rebuild our military, make it stronger, bigger, better. The cheapest thing we can do. Nobody ever will mess with us because they just toy with us right now. They toy with us. And a lot of people, I heard it today, they said, well, Trump is definitely the toughest one running, but he may have a quick hand, a quick trigger. I've got the slowest trigger of anybody, but nobody's going to play games with me. But I've got the slowest trigger. I'm the one that said, as a civilian, I wasn't a politician, but I said at the beginning, don't go into Iraq, you're going to destabilize the entire Middle East. And that's exactly what happened. If our presidents and if our politicians went on vacation 15 years ago, we'd be a lot better off in the Middle East than we are right now. What we have right now is a big, fat, ugly mess, all right? A big mess. And they were the ones that pulled the trigger. And then I heard a certain Senator, Lindsey Graham, he said, I don't know why Donald Trump doesn't listen to me. I've been fighting this war for many years. That's right. I want to fight it for about 2 weeks, folks, not many years. Because we have to get back to our country. We have to rebuild America. We have to rebuild the United States. Our infrastructure is going to hell. We'll build 3 schools in different places in the Middle East. They get blown up, we rebuild it. They get blown up again and again and again. But if we want to build a school in Pennsylvania, the government said we have no money. Right? Okay. We've spent over $4 trillion in the Middle East. We are in worse shape now than we were 15 years ago. And then when Obama got out, instead of doing it in a certain way and leaving some troops behind and protecting a little bit of whatever, if you call it one, let's not even call it one, he took everybody out and he announced the date that he was leaving. And now you have a mess. And in comes ISIS. They take the oil. And I've been saying for years, keep the oil, don't let them have the oil. I didn't want to go in the first place. But I said, if you're going to go out, take the oil. Because if you don't take the oil, Iran is going to get the oil. And ISIS is going to get the oil. So who has the oil? Iran and ISIS and Iraq, which, by the way, for years and years would fight with Iran, but they were the same military strength, right? So they fight for 3-4 years, boom, boom, they go home and rest. Then they fight for 3-4 years, boom, boom. Then Saddam Hussein would hit somebody with gas, people would be complaining. Then the others would hit gas, people, they move 10 feet. What did we do? We went in and destroyed the military capability of one of the 2 nations. And now Iran is taking over Iraq. As sure as you're standing here, and as actually you people are all standing too, even though you have seats, which is a great honor, thank you. It's always nice when people have seats and they still want to stand to hear Trump. Don't you agree? Always. I appreciate it. So we're going to change our focus. We're going to be so great on the military and on foreign policy, and we're going to do things right. You know, we protect many, many nations, and we're not reimbursed properly for the protection. Many of these nations are very wealthy nations. We protect Germany. We protect Japan. Love Germany, love Japan. Many friends. We protect South Korea. Great, great. From the madman next door. We have 28,000 soldiers on the line. Very dangerous position to be in. They're making a fortune. You order television. I ordered 4,000 television sets. I order thousands a year for different projects. Thousands. Where do they come from? They come from South Korea. That's fine. They are money-making behemoths. They don't take care of us. We protect Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, I have many friends in Saudi Arabia. They buy my apartments. You wouldn't believe how they buy my apartments, okay? Many, many friends. But we protect Saudi Arabia. Before the oil went down, they were making $1 billion a day. If we didn't protect them, they wouldn't be there for 2 weeks. But we protect them. We don't know what we're doing. And then we have a president that flies to Saudi Arabia last week, and he gets off the plane and there's nobody to greet him. And the same thing happened in Cuba. He goes to Cuba, and instead of having one of the Castros or both of them greeting him at the plane, there's no high official waiting to greet the President of the United States coming out of Air Force One. Which, by the way, they will tell you, the dishonest media, but they will tell you that has to be a record. In the history, the great, great history of Air Force One, how many times do you think it landed at an airport of hundreds and hundreds of countries where the top people in that country weren't there to greet the President of the United States? It happened to our president. It happened to our president twice in 4 weeks. Nobody. I'll tell you what, if I were the president and I flew into Saudi Arabia and the king or whoever, the top, isn't there to greet me, I say, hey pilot, come here for a second. How much fuel do we have? We got plenty, sir. It's Air Force One. I say, get back in those controls, pilot, and let's get out of here. I would be out of there so fast. If they show the President of the United States. Thank you. Thank you. If they show the President of the United States so little respect, it's called, sorry folks, see you some other time. I mean, I remember a case not so long ago, everybody forgot it, the Olympics. Remember when the president flew to Europe to make a pitch? Now, this is the President of the United States. He made a pitch for the Olympics to come to the United States, and I think that's great, I like it. But if you're the president, you don't go over there, make a pitch, and then not win, right? Too big a position. If you're the president, you gotta know the answer before you go over. So you call them, say, listen, I'm the president, and I'm gonna go there. But between us, are we gonna win? And they'll tell you, they'll say, no, sir, you're gonna come in fourth. I say, thank you very much, I appreciate it, but I'm not gonna go. They don't do that. We're dealing with babies here, folks. We're dealing with babies. So we have the President of the United States go over to make a pitch for the Olympics, and he gets rejected. We didn't come in first or second or third. I think we came in like fourth. Who does that? Who does that? Are we dealing with babies? When you're the President of the United States, and you want to get the Olympics to come to this country, and you go over there, and you don't know the answer beforehand, you're incompetent. You're totally. So here's the story. Tomorrow's a big day, and we're going to do great things. And as I said, I'm self-funding my campaign. And you know the nice part of the major candidates, I put in far less than any other candidate, and we're winning in a landslide by every single candidate. And on television, one of the very smart pundits said, why would Trump change? You know, I'm like a smart guy. I went to the best school, one of the hardest schools in the world to get into. Like, I'm smart. A lot of us are smart. By the way, we have the smartest and most loyal people are in these rooms. The Trump people are the smartest, and they're by far the most loyal. By far. They are by far the most loyal. So here's the story. Here's the story. I have to tell you this. I have to. Here's the story. So they're talking about presidential. And this one pundit says, let me ask you a question. 17 people started, and Trump was there. And we all said, Trump's never going to run. Trump's never going to do this. Trump's never going to sign Form A, which basically is signing your life away. Trump's a private company. He's never going to reveal his finances. So I announced that I'm running. I then signed my life away. I signed formally. I then put in my financials early. I had the biggest law firms in Washington and the biggest accounting firms in Washington working round the clock because I didn't want to be even an hour late. And I could have had 45-day extensions all over the place. But I wanted to show my financials because I built a great company. I built a company, some of the greatest assets in the world. I built a company with a tremendous cash flow with very little debt. And I put it in. Federal elections, I put it in almost 100 pages. The biggest report ever put into federal elections. I started off with $1 million. You know, you hear all these crazy numbers, believe me. Started off with $1 million. My company's now worth more than $10 billion. And importantly, I tell you that it's not in a braggadocious manner. I tell you that because this is the kind of thinking, at least for a little while, that our country needs. We got to put our country back on track. If we're protecting the 28 countries of NATO, and if they're delinquent and they're not paying us because they have no respect for us, and if NATO is obsolete and has to be rejiggered, and if we have to do something about terror, which NATO doesn't really cover, it was many years ago, you're talking about 68 or so years ago, we got to change things. And when somebody at one of the networks asked me, what do you think of NATO? Now, in all fairness, I'm a very good business person. But you know what? NATO's never been high on my list, but I understand it. I said, number one, it's obsolete. And guys that looked at it, that study it every day of their lives, at first they said, no, it's not. Then about 3 days later, they're saying, Trump's got a point, because they're so close to it, they don't even see it. Then I said, we have put up so much money to protect other countries, they've got to start paying for this protection. And they don't pay because probably nobody asks them for the money. And they don't pay because, honestly, they think we're stupid. So we're protecting these countries that aren't paying their fair share. They're not carrying their own baggage. And one of the early things I do is I say, folks, and many of these countries are very wealthy. I say, folks, you got to pay us. They'll say, okay. I say, no. You got to also pay us for all those back years when you didn't pay us. It's called delinquency. Right? You got to pay. And we don't mind, but we'll help you out, and we'll protect, but you got to pay. We are no longer the stupid country. We're now the genius, brilliant country. Okay? So you got to pay. And you know the funny thing? I'll get along better with these countries than we do right now. And they'll be paying up because they're going to respect the United States again. They don't respect us, okay? Now, a couple of things. Then we're going to go home, then we're going to get a good night's rest, and then tomorrow you're going to vote and get on your friends, okay? So the commentator said, you know, I hear Trump maybe is thinking about pivoting to more presidential. The only thing is that I don't understand. He had 16 opponents, senators, governors, all these people, top of the line. Some of them not so good. 16. He had guys like Dr. Ben Carson, who's a phenomenal guy. A lot of people, right? He's a phenomenal guy. Now, wait a minute. So he goes through one, he wins. He goes through another, beats a governor, beats a senator, beats a governor, beats a senator. Now he beats a senator, and now he beats 3 senators in a row. And I'm about to beat a senator who doesn't even have a clue, Ted Cruz. And I'm about to beat a governor who's 1 for 42. Okay? So this person, who's a very smart pundit, said, you know, if I'm Trump, I don't think I want to change. And there's a lot of truth to that. But wait till you see what we do with this country. We're going to unify, not only are we going to unify the Republican Party, but we have a tremendously divided country. White and black, everything we have, young and old, everybody is at odds. You look at the African American population,